Hi fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Laila Sidiko. You're welcome to SYDDY'S Apparel. Thank you very much. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your subscription. To my new subscribers, I welcome you to today's class. Today I'll be teaching you how to cut a Yoruba traditional attire, which is called Iro and Buba. It is a native wear for female, yeah. So for you to cut your Iro and Buba, you'll be needing 6 years of ankara fabric. You can make use of 5 if you're like me, but with 6 years you are good to go. So the measurement you'll be needing for cutting Iro and Buba is your back to sleeve, from your midpoint, the midpoint of your back here to your sleeve measurement. It may be here, your buba length may end here, it may end here, it may end here. Before they do wear buba till it reach this place, but now they don't wear it, like it's not that common. So at Iro and Buba is one of the most simplest outfits. It's very easy to know, it's very easy to cut, but I will tell you that as it is easy to cut and easy to sew, there are some things you have to be careful of when you are cutting Iro and Buba. And when you are cutting your Iro and Buba, you use the biggest of your measurements. It might be your waist, it might be your hip, it might be your bust. But I like using the biggest of my upper measurement, which is my bust. So because why I don't like using the hip is that, like me now, I'm using hip 36. So when I say the biggest of my measurement, which is 36, and I folded it 36 inches without adding any, okay, let me add 1 inch, it will be too somehow tight for me. So me, I like using my bust measurement. My bust is 34. I'll add 8 inches to 34 inches. It becomes what? Which is 34 plus 8 becomes 42 inches. It's still okay. I can even make use of 10 inches. Add 10 inches to 34, making what? 44 inches. So if you are cutting your buba, you should have like at least 8 to 10 inches to your body measurement, because a buba outfit is just a free blouse, like free wears that you can just, like what I'm putting on now. This is not buba, but something free that you can wear. It doesn't make use of zip. Are you getting me? So that's what we call the buba measurement, the buba. So now I have 6 years of ankara fabric here. The first thing you are going to do is you cut out your Iro away from the materials. So you cut out your Iro. You might use ankara to sew your Iro and Buba. You might use lace. You can also use other fabric. You can use chiffon. You can use different kind of fabric. All you need to do is, if you are using a stretchy fabric for Iro and Buba, you can just make use of your bust measurement and add 1 inch for sewing. It won't be, when you're using a lycra fabric, you may not want it too big. You can want it too fitted. You can just add 4 inches to it if you want some ease. But if you want it to be free, if you want it to be tight, just add 1 inch. It will be very fitted. People will even think that whether you are putting on blouse, you understand. So as I said, you'll be needing your back to sleeve measurement. Your back to sleeve measurement doesn't really need measurement like that. Back to sleeve, if you are cutting your sleeve, you can just use your armhole length measurement and add 2 or 1 inch to hit. You understand? It's just very simple wear too. So the challenges you might be facing in cutting Iro and Buba is that don't make a mistake of taking your Iro to cut your Buba. So when you cut your Iro, make sure you take it aside. Then the remaining one, you start cutting your Buba from it. You understand? So you also need your Buba length, the length of your Buba from your shoulder here. You take your Buba length measurement. You can just make use of your blouse length. You can add 2 inches or 1 inches to it. You understand? Because it's just free. It's not that it's fitted, whether when you wear it will have zip. No. Although there are some buba that you can easily change to blouse, that it will have armhole, then you put another sleeve, but it is in form of buba. It won't have zip. And there are some, you don't even call it buba again. It is now blouse that they will need to put zip at the back. You understand? It's not how they will put that. It's what to call buba. It is no more buba. It has become blouse. So as I said, I have 6 years of material here. And also for cutting your Iro, you add actually the lowest, the minimal yards you can use for your wrapper is 2 yards for matured people, not children. The minimum yards you can use for your euro is 2 yards. So you can just add 2 yards and 5 inches. The 5 inches will just serve as the folding of the both side. You understand? You can use 2 yards and 5 inches, 2 yards and 9 inches, 2 yards and 12 inches, and 2 yards and half. But as I said in my other video about the lace, if you are sewing for an elderly woman, even if it is somebody like me, they will still insist they want it as 2.5. Wọ́n ní kò ká mi, yóò ká mi dáadáa, jẹ́ kí ro yẹ kó yóò gbọ́dọ̀ ká mi. If you are sewing for an old woman, like people who are àwọn grandma, you understand, they will want it. Even some people, if they are big, like my grandmother, she's very fat, and if you use 2.5 for herself, she might even complain. So I do use 2 yards and 25 inches. So and aside from using 2 yards and 25 inches, I also had alakun. There's something we call alakun. So when I'm cutting this, I will just explain that alakun, because this one I'm cutting, I'm not putting alakun in it. Actually, I'm not putting alakun. So you can add 2 yards. Okay, the minimum yards you can use for your euro is I can use 2 yards. Somebody older than me a little can use 2 yards. Bigger than me a little can use 2 yards. You understand? So, but 2 yards and 5 inches, 2 yards, you can just add the inches, 2 yards and 6 inches. So those ones serve, you know, when you fold the hand, you may use 1.5 to fold the hand. You may use 1.5 to fold the hand. You may use 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches, or 2.5 inches to fold the side. Fold it at both sides. Then the down, if it is ankara, you just tape it down. You understand? That's just for. I'm sorry, they just brought light. So I hope you get me now. So I will just go. I will start cutting it on this yes. I've actually I've already cut the wrapper, and I've even stone, because I'll be putting stone on the outfit. So I cut 2 yards. I'm going to show you what I cut, and then go to the. So from the ankara, what I have here is 1 yard. This is 1 yard. For the wrapper, this is 2. This is 2 and 15 inches. This is 2 yards and 15 inches for the wrapper. Are you seeing it? So I'm just going to take it to the machine, fold like 2 inches here. I'll fold 2 inches. When I fold it in 2 inches, then I'll take this in. Are you seeing it? I'll fold the 2 inches and I'll take this and then sew it down both sides. So for this upper part, I'm going to bend this like this, then sew it down. So that's for the wrapper of the euro. Then if you have an extra, you can just put rope. You know, it's not everybody that knows how to tie wrapper, but when you put rope at the edge of your wrapper, it makes it very easy for you to tie it very well. You'll be able to tie it firmly. Are you getting it? So for the buba, what you are going to be doing is that you'll be measuring the length of your buba twice. You'll be measuring to get your buba. You measure the length of your buba twice. Are you getting me? So the length of the buba I'm working on is 26. So I'm going to take it twice. This is it. I'll measure 26 twice. This is 26. I'll take another 26. 26 plus 26 is 52. Are you seeing it? So I'm timesing it into 2, which is 52. Can you see? You can simply take it at once, 52. You can take your 52 at once. Then you notch it. You notch your 52. You notch the 52. Are you seeing it? Then you hold it in the 2 sides. You notch the 2 sides, you hold it this way, then you cut it out. Are you seeing it? You hold the 2 sides. Hold it, the 2 sides. Yeah, I'm trying to look for where I notch. So this is where I notch. Then I will notch the 2. Then you take it, open it like this, then hold the second side, then you do like this. You can easily tear it, not you can tear, but you know there are some ankara when you do that, it will just move to the other side. It won't be complete in the other side. So just take it, then put it on your lap like this, then you cut it out. That is just for it to make lines, so you know where you are cutting. So now this is it. So I know that this is the one I want to use for, this is the scarf and the sleeve. This is, I'll keep that aside. This is my 52 inches. I can still take my tape and cross check if it is 52. And cross check. This is not the 52, so that should be the 52. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So you have to be careful when you are cutting it. This is 52, which I said 26 in 2 places. So as you can see, this is 52 inches. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to take this, the edge here, I'm going to hold it like this. Are you seeing it? I'm going to take this two edge like this. I'll take it at the two edge this way. Are you seeing it? Which is the 26. Then I'll fold it. Then place it like this. I'll try and place it like this. Are you seeing it? You know, it has SS here. Okay, let me fold it this way. Let me fold it this way, so that I will explain if you are putting alakun. So this way, I'll fold it this way. You know, I folded it into two. These are the two edges of the clothes. Are you seeing it? So I folded it like this. So I said, if you want to, I'm using the bust measurement of this person is 42, and I want to add 10 inches to it. I want to add 10 inches to the buba. So if I add 10 inches to 42, it will give me 52. Okay, let me add 8 inches because it will be too big for this person. So let me add 8 inches. 8 to 42 will give me what? 50. So what I'm going to do is I'll take my tape like this and measure 52 divided by 4 will give us 12.5. I'll measure that 12.5 all round. I'm only trying to do this so that I will explain that if you are doing that alakun, we have alakun okay, we have alakun isale. That means just an additional, because some people will say the length of the buba did not reach them, that too short to you. You understand? You know, length of the buba, length of iro rather, the length of our iro is of our ankara is 45. So some people might say 45 is too short for them, that they need some additional the upper part. So Yoruba call it alakun oke and alakun isale. So I've done this, I've measured. I'm sorry, just trying to do this alone to see. Let me try and see if I'm doing my video alone. Okay, so this is it. I've measured the 12.5. I folded it twice. You can see the 26, the 52. I said this is the length of 26. This is 26 inches. So I folded the ankara into 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you seeing it? So I got the body measurement of my buba, which is 12.5. And how did I get the 12.5? I added 8 inches to the bust measurement, which is 42. 42 plus 8 inches gives us 50. So I divided 50 into 4. It gives me 12.5. So I measured the 12.5 round. So I'm going to cut this out. So it's not that the person that owns this really need alakun, but I'm going to use this. I'll add it to a scarf. But I'm just using this to explain that alakun for you. So when you cut this out, we now add it to our iro to make the alakun. So we cut, when you are cutting, make sure you are cutting at the back of your chalk. I hope you are seeing me. So this is it. I've cut, this is the one they call alakun. So the alakun, if you want to do the alakun now, you are going to, are you seeing, this is it. You hold it down. Etiaje mejeji. They call this etiaje, the salvage edge of the clothes. You see, you take it like this. You sew. You can see it's not equal. It's not the same. You sew this down. So when you sew it, you open it. Don't worry, let me give someone to sew it so that you get what I'm trying to explain. So I've given someone to sew down. Okay, so this is the buba now. For the buba, I'm going to cut the neck. For you to cut the neckline, it depends. There are some people that they want their their buba neck to be very wide. They want it to be very wide. You can use 5x4. When you are making your neckline of your buba, the wideness too wide, make sure that you think about the length. So the length must not be too wide, or else if they want to bend down, all their breasts will just be showing. You know, except some people will ask for it so that they want it like that. But if you want your buba neckline to be wide, if you are using 5, make sure you are using 4 for the length, or 3.5. So if you are using 4, you can use 4.5 for the length. So you can simply use, if you want it to be wide, you can use it 4.5 by 4 is still okay, or 4x4, or 4 for the wideness, and 4 for the wideness, 4.5 for the length. Are you getting me? 4 for the wideness, 4.5. So for me now, I can use 4x4. It's okay. I can also use what? 4 for the wideness and 4.5 for the length. Are you getting me? So if you are saying for some, I have a customer, a mama customer, that she doesn't like buba neckline to be too wide. So I use 3.5 by 3.5 for her, and she loves it. But you know, sewing for those our our mama, they won't pay very well. I could remember, although that woman has passed on now, she will bring 5 buba for me. You pay me 1.5. I will just take it. Alubarika anymore. Do you understand? Most those mama, they don't want to pay for Ira and buba, and this Ira buba, you can make it 1,000 naira upward. Well, it depends on your area. You can make it 1,000 naira upward. If they're making underwear under it, you can collect 5,000, 3,000. It depends. Do you understand? It depends on the kind of material. I'm not just telling you the price. I'm just trying to tell you what you can do with it. So this is it. I'm going to be using what? 4 inches for the wideness, 4.5 for the length. I get in. Then I'll move it up like this. Hope you are seeing it. 4. So this is the neckline. So 4.5 for the length, 4 for the wideness. So I'm going to use my bias tape to do this. Then they will hem the neckline. I'm going to use my bias tape to tape it after cutting it. So this is it. So I'm going to cut it. So at this edge here, I'm going to notch this where the sleeve is coming. I'm going to notch it here. Are you seeing it? So now what we are going to cut now is the sleeve. So from here, this is where you get the sleeve. So the back to sleeve of this client, I'm going to be using 25 inches for the back to sleeve of the client. So you know, this is ankara. Assuming it's lace, I'll just cut the length. So for you to get the length of your sleeve for your buba, I said I'm going to be using what? Length of 25, back to sleeve of 25 inches. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to tape my tape from here. Are you seeing it? Assuming I've not cut the neckline, I would have shown you. So from here, we have 12.5 here. You know, we use our body of buba as 12.5 inches. So I'm going to minus 12.5 from 25. So you know, 25 minus 12.5 will give us 12.5 away from 25. Will give us 12.5. So instead of making use of 12.5, I'm going to be making use of 12.5, I'm going to add extra ½ inch to it. So it's going to be 13 inches for the length of the buba, for the length of the sleeve of the buba. So we are going to be using 13 inches. So I'm going to be using 13 inches for it. So you're going to fold your buba like this, the remaining fabric like this rather. You can use it like this. You can just do it this way. I hope you are seeing me. The edge, you fold it into 2. Are you seeing it? So there is something I want to explain to you before I fold the buba. Before I fold the sleeve, you can, if you notice this ankara now, it has pattern. There are some clothes that has pattern, and the customer will want you to follow it as the pattern is, as in you should just be creative with the pattern, because there are some customers that, especially the clothes that has pattern, that you don't follow it as the pattern is, they'll start shouting that should you do any should worry on. So like this one now, as a different border at the downside and different at the upside. So if I'm to use this one now, let me make use of this as the sleeve, as the hand of the sleeve, because the down part of my wrapper is having this border at the down part. So you know, I can't trace that on the buba, except I want the buba to have joining here. Are you getting it? Well, you can see the way the pattern is, it doesn't really affect it that much. So you can also be creative about it. You can make use of this side of this here and this side here. You can also be creative about it like this, like that. Let me just I'm not sure if you are with me. So if I want to cut my buba now, I can simply make use of it like this, just to follow the pattern. I can make use of it like this. So just to be creative about the pattern of the ankara. So I'm folding the hand of the buba. I just took the mouth of my ankara, the two mouths of my ankara. I took it this way. I'm sorry. This is the first time of doing the video alone. If I'm doing it, my girls are always there to help me hold the camera. So this is it. So I folded it. I seen it. I folded it. So now we want to get the sleeve length. This is it. We folded it into two. Are you seeing it? We folded it into two. First thing. So they've just brought the joining I was telling you about the alakun in for me. This is it. So this is the joining. You can see the way they joined it. It's not equal here. Are you seeing it? It's not equal. What you are going to do after you've done this is that you now bend it in. You bend it in to sew. You bend it in. Are you seeing it? You bend it in, then you sew down. Then after, you now join it to the upper part of your. This is the wrapper. So if you want to join it, you take it. This is the upper part of the hero, which is that has a TRG. You now take this like this. You take this like this. You put this. You can see it's not together. It's not equal. I didn't put it like this. I put it this way. Then you sew down with 1/4 inch. From here, you leave this. Then you sew down. Then after you do that too, like that, you open it. You understand? You bend it up here. Then you now fold it down here. So when you see it, when you do it like this, it has add to the length of your hero. I hope you understand this. I pray you understand it, but it's just as simple as ABC. But not everyone knows how to do a wrapper that way. That's people that work with old people will know how to do it. That if you have customers that will tell you that. So let's get back to our sleeve, as I was saying. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be measuring 3 inches. You can use 3 inches to fold your sleeve. To bend it, you can use 3.5. So I'm using 3 inches. I'm using 3 inches. So I will be folding this. Then I will now measure my 13, which is the length of my buba. You can see I'll measure my 13. You know, the length of the sleeve, the length of the sleeve of the buba rather is 12.5, but I added ½ inch. So buba doesn't have a shape of sleeve, whether you are going to shape it, except you want it a blouse buba, a buba that comes in shape of blouse. Aside you, except you want that. So after I've gotten this, so I'll just cut this out. You understand? I'll just cut that out. This is it. This is the buba. I'll cut it out. So the wideness of the buba, I'm going to be making use of 10.5. So I'm going to cut this ATRJ away. I'm going to cut this edge away. I don't want this number thing there, so I'll cut this away. So I'll also open this. I see it. So the 3 inches which you are going to be using to bend, you will notch the 3 inches. Are you seeing it? I've notched the 3 inches. Then you take it. You take the 3 inches. You can just take it to the machine or you use iron. You bend it. You also bend it this way. You bend it this way. When you finish bending it, you sew this. Are you getting it? So what I was trying to say, that with the pattern of the clothes, this is the buba now. I can just simply put this here and also put this, the one that is deep here. Are you getting me? Or I'll put this here, this plain one that doesn't have that circle, and put this here. You understand? You just have to be creative about it because of the design on the clothes. And aside from this, I'm going to be putting stone. I'm going to be stoning this buba. I'm going to be putting stone. So I will show you. If you don't really know how to fix the buba, I will drop the link of the lace I did for you. I'm going to drop the link in my description box, so you go and watch the lace, the way I sewed the lace, because that one was detailed. I showed how to sew it. So this, what I'm going to do to the neck is that I'm going to bias the neckline. Okay, let me just tell them to sew the buba upper part at the end of the buba. So I will show you how to go over it. I'll be making use of my pattern stone which I've made on the ankara. So this is it. I'm going to cut it out. I use number 1 stone. So number 1 crystal stone. So I'm going to cut it out this way and place it in the sleeve. So this is my sewing machine. So I'm going to just place it on it. Are you seeing it? So you know I'm going to be joining it. I have to look into that. I don't want it to reach the edge. I want it to start in between. So I'm going to cut part of this out. So nice, and it's okay. It's fine. You can also move it to the edge if you want it. But I love it as it has at least ½ inch difference. Nice, and so I'm going to close it down. Then it will read. You can see my stoning. This is counting from 60 backward. It will read to 1. So you can see it's in 3, 2, 1. You can see it will make a sound, then it will open. But it has not yet gone finished. It remains this side. I'll also cover that. So this is it. What you are going to do now is just remove the nylon out. It's just very, very simple. You can see. Are you seeing? So that's the way I would do to the sleeve, the both sleeve. So I'll be putting the stone on the buba. So what I did was I've put bias, but I've not hemmed it. So I've put the bias. I get the center front of this outfit and also get the side. So because I'll be putting the stone at the side and also the center. So I have a stoning class, an online tutorial where I teach stoning. So if you are interested in joining, it's just for a token. And simply, I'll drop my number there. You can simply order the WhatsApp link. Are you seeing the way I'm doing it? Are you seeing it? So then I'll cover it too. So I'm going to be putting another stone here. So the customer that owns this cloth did not pay very well. So I'm assuming you want to beautify it. You can just make your stone go to the back. You understand? So I want it to stop here because the board, she just bought only one board. So I'm going to be stopping at the shoulder line here, at the notch here, towards the notch side here. The notch side here serves as the shoulder line, the notch here serves as a switch. So I'm going to put the stone here down. So I'm trying to get the center. So this is it. From doing this type of bushy style, you can also get a kind of board like this. It depends on the pattern of your clothes. If you are stoning your Iro and buba, you can just remove part of this pattern, you place it at this round. You understand? It depends on the pattern on your outfit. But if you put stone here, transfer it into a transfer sheet and place it inside this circle, wow, it will look so beautiful. Are you seeing it? Just place it on this pattern, it will look so beautiful. So this is the easiest way of stoning your Iro and buba. So you can just put stone here and see the way I also stoned the wrapper. I just put one stone on it, as you can see. I just put a little stone on the body. So as I was saying the other time, I said malakmuki and alakunstale. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was alakunki and alakunrin. So if you are doing your alakunrin, you take your Iro, you put it into two, then you cut it out, then you put the alakun that I was saying. This is the alakun that I cut out from the buba. Then you put it at one side and also join it at the other side. Open this and join it to both sides, so it will now make the buba wider. But if it is alakun okay, what I mean is that some people okay, as it is alakun okay, they will want to tie it up. They can also tie it down. They can turn it up, turn it down. So that was the mistake I was making that time. So you can just put it up here or put it down. So if they want to tie, they can tie it down or tie it up. But it's always fine if it is tied up. So it will follow this folding in. So the 45 inches of the wrapper will just be downward. So to those that doesn't know how to hem the neckline of your buba, this is what you are going to do. You are just going to bend this in and bend it this way. Sleeve, if you are to put the sleeve, you take this like this. I've joined the side of the sleeve. You know it was open, so I've joined it with half inch. So then we turn it in like this. You notch, then you take this here, this notch, you take it to the other notch, then you move it downward like this. You've not started sewing now, just move it with your hand downward like this. Move it downward. So when you get here, you start sewing. You sew with half inch. You make sure the notch reach the notch. You understand? They meet at this point, they align together. Then you continue sewing. You continue sewing till it reach down. You stitch. You raise your foot up. By the time you reach here, this would have been like this. Are you seeing it? This would have been like this. Then you sew it down. You sew it down till it reach here, somewhere here. You measure from down, like 5 inches down. You measure from here 5 inches down. You make that to make an opening. Then you bend it. I'm just doing this, but there's a video that shows how I make this on my machine. I'll put the video in my description box. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So for hemming, I know most of us know how to hem, but for those that doesn't know how to hem, all you do is you bend the mouth of your bias like this, bias tip like this. Then you push this in. Your hemming must not show at the front. You see, you just pick one of the thread of your cloth, then you tag down. Oh, sorry, they've not tightening the. So you have to tighten your thread first. You tighten it first. Are you seeing it? Then, as I said, you bend this, then you pass. You take small of the thread of your outfit, then you do it like this. You do the second one like this, and you remember to cut the first thread, this one away first. You cut this. This is what we call hemming. You make sure you bend another one in. You bend it in neatly. You pick it again. Are you seeing it? You can see there is still a little part of the ankara inward. So you do it like that. You pick this in. You also do it like this. See what I've been doing? It's not showing. Are you seeing it? It's not showing. So you pick it. You pick another one. Just pick single thread. You pick it in. So that's the way you do it. So thanks so much for your love and support, and I wish to give you more video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I still remain yours sincerely, SYDDY. Much love. Take care.